My next guest, I want to bring him out for a couple minutes to say hello to you. He's from Detroit. Very tough guy, badass. Type of guy you look at, he'll kick your ass. Give it up for my friend, and I'm sure soon to be yours, Curtis. How you doing, Curtis? Just fine, stub nothing. Oh, come on, cut that trap out. What is better than a rose on your piano? What is better than a rose on your piano? What? My tulips on your organ. All right, look, you ready for your first comedian? We're gonna have a good time tonight, really. Laugh, girls, keep doing drugs. Maybe you guys get some sex at the end of this. Our first comedian happens to be a Jew from New York. Now, in Columbia, you know that, right? The Jews all over the place. Give it up for the one and only Jeff Simon! I had lots of jobs. What kind of jobs have you been? Well, I was a stand-in in the Green Mile. Yeah, well, that's right. I got muscles. Anyone ever survived a plane crash around here? You did, right? Well, you look like you really did. Okay, it's terrible. I have a friend of mine, he survived the plane crash. Terrible incident, really, in Ohio, a couple of years ago. Plane's going down, he told me it was really, really scary. This woman jumps up. She rips off her clothes. She says, I want to be treated like a woman. I need a man to treat me like a woman. He jumps up, takes off his shirt, gives it to her. He says, iron this bitch. All right, we're going to bring out our next comedian. Very unique guy, very different tent on the world. Give it up for the one and only Nelson Ortega. What do you call a sleeping bull? A sleeping bull, what? A bulldozer. What is the most confusing day in the ghetto? Father's Day. There you go. That's right. It's an old-time joke. That's right. We're going to bring out our next comedian. She's a very funny gal. She has an interesting talk about herself and about life. Give it up for the one and only Cynthia Beck.
Thank you there, my friend.
Why do gay guys have mustaches? Why? To hide the stretch marks. Yeah. Well, how do you know if your house is built by lesbian carpenters? How do you know if your house is built by lesbian carpenters? How? All tongue and groove and no studs. Yeah, that's right. Growing up, I grew up in an Italian family. Anyone Italian around there? Any Guineas? No Guineas? Any Jews? Columbia, you gotta be Jew. Of course, Columbia, you gotta be a Jew. You gotta get into Columbia, you have to be a Jew. I'm a Jew-wop, so I'm mixed, which means I'm cheap and I fight. All right, now, we're gonna bring up our next comedian. She is a regular on Law and Order, regular here. Give her some love, the one and only Yaffa! I'll tell you, as you get older, guys, the good news is you don't give a shit about your looks. Your pot belly starts hanging out, your balls hang all the way down. It doesn't matter anymore. You can scratch your balls in front of everyone. A matter of fact, I went to a birthday party the other day. I got drunk, I peed in the mailbox. Anyone ever pee in a mailbox? I'm not kidding you. Anyone ever pee in a mailbox? It is so great. You just go up to the freaking box, I swear to God, you whip out your thing, and you're peeing there. And you're like, you know what the funny thing is? This is going to dry up, and the mailman has to stick his hand in there every freaking day. Oh, it's great. You guys know what fun is, man. Anyone ever pee on a car?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, you know what it is. Or shit on a car? That's great. Get up there, someone you hate, you squat right under the windshield, man. Bang. Take a load. What do you get when you mix a room of 50 state workers and 50 lesbians? 50 state workers and 50 lesbians. What do you get? 100 folks that don't do dick. Our next comedian is from Queens. Let's hear it for Queens. Mark Pruden. Give it up, our last comedian of the night. Come on, guys, let's hear it. Get some love. Talking about travel, I have a cousin of mine that's a correspondent, and she did a story in Afghanistan, a women's rights activist. So she went there, and she noticed that the women in Afghanistan walked 10 paces behind the men. So she talked to the guy, and she said, what the hell's going on here? This isn't women's right. He said, ma'am, women do not have standing in Afghanistan. She left. About a year later, she goes back to cover the story. Now women are walking 10 paces ahead of the men. She says, this is really great, women's rights is progressing. What's happening? The guy looks at her and he says, bombs. Okay. All right, you ready? Yeah, let's do it. All right, the next comedian is a funny guy. He's a regular, been around town. Give it up for Christian Dirty Up. Give it up for Christian.